Hi friends, it's Nancy and I'm back today to work on our Ocean Spray folio kit. So today I wanted to just show you the papers I picked for the little journal part, the little signature part that we're going to put in, and that goes right in here. So, you know, here was the front here, and then flip it over, we have the tag and this, and then we have the photo booklet in here that we made. Okay, and then we'll work on that, but I wanted to finally show you, I did pick colors that went with this. So this is just coffee dyed paper. This is some peach colored paper that I got from Jacqueline's shop. This is just graph paper, and then another beautiful blue page here. And this, I believe, might have been from, this was from Jacqueline's shop too. And I just like how they layer it. There's just 4 pages, you know, because this is going to get thick and we don't need it to be super thick. This blue page here, I didn't want to cut it, so there is a little flip out area here. But I think it goes really well with the colors. You can, you know, if you want to add more pages, you can. But like I said, this is not made to hold a lot of paper, you know, it's just a small folio. So I really do like how this looks. So I am going to sew this in with just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And because it's so small, I'm going to hopefully do this with you. I'm going to open this up. It's going to go right here. And I am going to just paper clip this here because it's not, you know, it's not a big signature. So I think we could just use it and poke through with the needle. It should be fine. So let me just make sure I get that in there correctly. I'm just going to paper clip that in, make sure it's where I want it to be, which it is. And hopefully I have my needle and thread ready here. And I'm going to go from the inside. I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball it here. And I just want to make sure I get middle here. So I'm going to go through the middle and I'm going to poke it through. And because, like I said, there's only 4 pages there, it goes through really easy. Kind of, as I say that, right? Okay, and then we're going to leave a tail in there. And then I'm going to go through, it doesn't matter if you go through the top or bottom. I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to, make sure I don't get this part. I'm just going to go in about like an inch down in the crease. There we go. Come back up. And remember, it's paper, so we don't want to pull on it or anything. It's not a full signature. And then I'm going to just go down through the middle again, come back out, and then I'm going to go through the bottom about an inch, like that. Pull this through gently. Okay, so now I can remove my paper clips like that, and then I'll open this up better. Okay, and then I'm just gonna tuck this under there, pull my needle out. And that one's on that side, so I'm going to put this one on this side. And I'm just going to give it a gentle pull, just gentle, because I don't want to, I don't want to pull too hard because there's only 4 pages in here. And I'm going to put my finger there and then put a knot in there. And that should be just fine. Okay. Okay, there we go. So it doesn't have to be crazy. And then I can just leave those long, or you can put little shells on them. Maybe we can put a little shell on them or something. So there's that. And there's our signature in there, just a small one. Okay, that wasn't too bad to do. Let me get my needle put away here. When it's something small like that, I don't think it's, you don't have to go through the whole thing of worrying about sewing it in, because let me just put that away. Okay, easy enough, right? All right, so I hope you're all doing well today. Here's the signature, so that's kind of nice. I like that. And then this pretty blue page, and there's a little flip out there. And that. Okay, great. Well, that wasn't so bad to do, was it? Okay, so for now, on this side here, I wanted to use, remember I had this salvage from a fabric, and to me it looked like the white foam of the ocean, like, when the waves come. And I really liked how that looked. So I thought it'd be really pretty to kind of just edge it here. That's what I was thinking of doing. I wanted to put a seahorse. I thought the seahorse looked really pretty there. And then what I was thinking of doing is taking this other pretty little shell image, and I was going to glue it onto the flap, and at the very bottom here, that we could still use it as a tuck to put a tag in. So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to take my seahorse first, and I'm going to glue that on. I love how this turns out. I love how this is looking. It's so pretty. So far, so good, right? It's small, but boy, you can really pack a lot in here. I feel like I am. I feel like there's a lot of interest going on in here. I'm going to put that guy right there, like that. Let me hold that down for a second. Okay. Oh. All right, now, I notice one side is darker, but this color doesn't go as well. I mean, it is in there, but I like the paler side, this side here. So I was thinking that it would be nice to just glue that on the edge like that, just for some interest. So and I would just put it on the very edge. And I think it looks kind of nice for texture. I like the texture of it. So I'm just going to measure out a piece here. I'm going to give it a trim here. Okay, and then I'm going to use my fabric tack, put that on, and I just want to get a scrap of paper here so I don't glue my pocket shut here. And I'm still trying to, I'm using my, I told you I ended up going to Joann's, and I got 3 bottles of fabric tack at a really good price because they're closing. So I just want to get some of a thin bead of this on here. Okay. I'm going to go take my time because I don't want to get too much, but just enough. Okay, there we go. That wasn't bad. Now, I'm going to put this on the very edge like that. Make sure it's up there. Like that. Just see how you just, I ripped the selvage off and I didn't want to get rid of it, wherever this fabric this was on, I don't know, but when I saw it, it just reminded me of the foam on the ocean. And I like the color, this little pale green. This little edge here is not, okay, there we go. All right, there we go. I like it. That looks cute. That's why you put the paper under there, see? I'll have to make sure I don't get anything stuck. There we go. That looks nice. So then what I was going to do, got the seahorse on. I wanted to put this on here, glue it on top of the flip, the little flip part, and just at the very bottom here. So you're not going to be able to flip it. It's kind of like a tuck now. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put it, and I think I'm going to use my fabric tack again for this. Put it on the tip here, because that's going to go there, and I'm just going to glue it onto the tuck, and I think that should be good. Like that. So let me hold that down. So it's still a tuck here now. See, right about there. It's still going to be open, but it's kind of a closed deal here. I like that. I like this for texture. That's nice. Okay. Got it. All right. So then I love this tag here, and I wanted to use it in here, but you see how the image is the same, so we're going to just change the image. We're going to do that here. So I'm going to just set this to the side. I have some shells picked out. And I'm going to just trim the tip of that photo. I'm just going to replace this photo with this one, but I'm going to trim it down a little bit, make it a little smaller. We don't need all that white up there. I'm thinking like that. And I thought I would put it right there, just like the other one was. And then just decorate it with some shells here. So I'll glue that on. Yeah, I really am happy with this pretty little project. I really am. Such a beautiful kit. It's perfect for summer. For summer now, for little travels, you know, if you make yourself a little travel book or whatever, and you go to the ocean or you go to the lake or something. I like it a lot. So I'm going to put that right here, like that. Okay. I think I will, I think I will ink it a little with some vintage. Oh no, wait, I wasn't using vintage photo. I was using tea dye, wasn't I? Okay, let me get my tea dye onto my little sponge here. Like that. There we go. See, I haven't worked on it for about a week now, so I kind of forgot what I was doing there. So used to using vintage photo. I like the tea dye look though on here. I guess I could have inked that photo up a little too, but I know I didn't do that. But we're going to put the shells on there, so it's going to look nice. And that's a nice little journal card. I like the color, the ocean. Okay. All right, so now what I wanted to do is just take some of these shells and kind of somehow decorate. I think I was going to do that one there. Maybe that. This one like that. And then the starfish kind of, just to add a little something there like that. That's what I was thinking of doing. So I'm going to use this glue. Okay. And then I'm going to glue that there. Put that there, like that. This one. I love making the little collage, the little clusters, I mean, not collage, little clusters of shells here. So pretty. And that one there. I'll hold that down for a second. And let's see. I'm trying to look at my other trims that I have here. I haven't used this one yet. So I don't know. I think it would work on here. I don't want to put it, I might just run it across the side here, I think. But let's see what it would even look like if I were to do that. This trim is also from, as you can see, from Honey Silks and Company online. They have beautiful, beautiful hand-dyed silks and ribbons and cottons, trims and things like that. I've bought from them quite a few times. I'm very, very happy. Matter of fact, I just placed another order because I got some blacks and grays and trims and things for upcoming Halloween project that we're going to be doing weekly. Now you can fuss with it and fiddle with it. It almost kind of looks like netting in a way without being the netting part. I do like how it looks though. I don't want to, see, you could, if you want, you could spread it out and press it if you want, but I kind of like the roughness of it. So I'm trying to just make sure if I do put it down, I don't want to twist it because it does twist sometimes. So I think I would just like do something like that. I like it. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of that. And this is going to go on with the fabric tack. Okay, so we'll get that on there, and I think that looks good. Come on, glue. Now put some along here. Okay. And put that on. Just like that. How does that look? That looks good. I like it. Just want to make sure it's on there. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Give it a push. I'm not gonna, I'll just show you what it looks like in the pocket, but it's still wet. So this is gonna go kind of like in here, like that. And I think that looks really nice, okay? So I'm gonna leave that out to dry. And then I think we have time, we can do a little more in here. All right, so we have that made. We have the tag to go in there, and then we get our signature in. So on this page here, I wanted to do a belly band to hold the 2 postcards that I made earlier. And this is one of the strips that come in the kit, and then I have another piece of that webbing from the Dollar Tree, and I thought it would be really fun, since this is wide. I wanted to put 2 little gusset strips on here, and I wanted to use some coffee dye papers. Now I know I had a piece here somewhere. Let me, you know, if I was organized, it'd be a miracle. It would be a miracle if I was organized. I'm just looking on the side here for a piece of coffee dyed paper, which I know I have. Oh, here it is. Okay, I knew I had some paper laying here. So what I wanted to do was make a little gusset, because these 2 postcards are pretty, you know, they are a little thick. So I want to make a gusset for them. I'm going to cut 2 strips the width of this piece here, and I would say this is about maybe a 3/4 inch piece. It's just the edge of a page that I have ripped off, and I didn't throw it away because I thought I would use it, and I knew I had it here. Okay, so I have 2 of those, and it should be the width of this, right? Yeah, might have to trim a little. So I'm just going to fold them in half like that. You don't have to score it or anything. It's just a piece of coffee dyed paper. And we're going to make little gussets to accommodate the thickness of the postcards. So I'm going to put those on. First, I think I'm going to ink this. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Give it some ink. Let me close this up. And then the netting from the Dollar Tree is not wide enough, so I don't know. Let's just see what it looks like first. I thought it'd be fun to put some of that netting behind to give extra texture. Okay, so let's just see how it looks. I was thinking of gluing this on, but you see how it's really not wide enough? So I was thinking of cutting this down the middle. And then I was thinking I probably should, I might have to put a piece of coffee dyed paper so it won't get caught. If I glued this to here and here, then I would have more of a, okay, so let's see. I should probably glue the gussets on first. So let's get those on. And it's not going to go from top to bottom. It doesn't reach the page, but it's okay. It's all right. It's still going to work. So let's get that. The folded edge is up here, as you can see, right? I have the folded edge flush with this. And I don't mind that it's a little longer because I can always trim it off. Better to be a little longer than short. There. I could even cut more if I could see better here. Okay. It's getting dark out here because we're going to get some rain. So I have my lights on, but sometimes there's a shadow. Okay. And I'll get the other one on with a fold this way. And then I can trim it. Okay, that looks good. So now this way it'll have, you know, more room. Okay, so what I was saying was taking the strips that I cut in half and then gluing them here. I'd have to cut it down a little because it would add more interest. Let me cut that off here. But I don't want the, I'm going to use my fabric tack. I might have to cut a piece of coffee dyed paper to cover this so the tags don't get caught on this. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Or I can even use book page. I can even do some book page. So, okay, then let me go back to the fabric tack now. Close that up. We're going to get that on. Okay. All right, so let's use fabric tack. We're going to glue the webbing on. I'm going to put, I don't need a heavy coat, just a thin coat to hold it, like that. And I'll put it right away on this side. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put this on here, but I want it to stick out. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to take this part and do the same. Okay, and then I'm going to just flip it and look at it. I like the way that looks. Okay, so then I should probably take at least some book page to cover that because you can't tuck anything in there. So I think I'm going to have to take some book page here, which is just something to put on there. I'm not even measuring it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Let's see if that's going to work or not. That should work fine. Okay. And I'm going to use my fabric tack. I'm going to glue that down on top. And hopefully this is going to be just fine, right? If you don't have this webbing trim, use any other kind of trim that you have. Maybe you have a flatter trim and you won't have to add extra. But this is just so everything can come out in and out of the belly band really easy. And I think this book page will be just fine. You're not even going to see it, so. Okay, a little short there. Oh dear, okay. That's okay. I can, I'll just grab another piece here. Just grab a piece here. Now I think that should work. I'm thinking it should work. I know it's still wet here, so let's just kind of take a look at it. So what I'm saying is then I would put glue on these two tabbies and glue this on the page like that. And I think that looks really pretty. I really like how that looks. All right, so let's do it. I'm going to do it. But we're not going to put the postcards in until I know that glue is dry underneath here. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay. All right, so now, like I said, this doesn't go from top to bottom, so you're going to just kind of check it out and then center it the best you can, and that should work. Make it even, hold it down, and I can even put a book page in there to make sure it doesn't stick anywhere. So let's just do that. There we go. And then I can put another piece for here. And see, this way everything is going to go under there and not get stuck on the webbing. Like that. So make sure the glue is not going to stick. Like that. There we go. So now I can press on that because, okay. Yeah, I like it. Oh, there we go. So that moves. That's not sticking and that's not sticking. So let me just, and that these are going to be tucked in there. Okay, so we're just going to give that a minute to dry. I like how that looks. Just clip that down maybe. You know, I want to just stick those in there. I don't know if we'll do anything in the signature. We could probably decorate the pages with some stamping. I think that would be fine. Once again, I'm trying not to add bulk, but with interest, because, you know, we can glue some shells on there. And, okay. Let's see, that should be good. But I love how that looks. That looks really pretty, real pretty. I'm still resisting the urge to put the tags in there. This one is ready to go though. This one I can put in there. So see how pretty that is? I like that in there. I'll let that dry a smidge. We still need to, we're gonna make probably a tag to go in here. And I think I'm gonna put something here, and then we should be done then. So that'll be another video. But you can see that even though we have bulk in here, it's still a nice folio. And then we'll probably tie it closed with this pretty blue sari that looks like the ocean color. So I love that. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. Okay, got that. I think, let's try these in here now, how that's going to go. I see. Okay, there we go. Let's see how these are going to look. So you see how it's not going to catch now? And that's just a nice place to put those. And because they're going to overlap, that's why it's bulky. But they are going to be fine under there. That's why I gave it a gusset, so they can fit. And that's a nice place to keep those two postcards, like that. And I can even push that down there, and that one can go up there. Let me just make sure. Yep, there we go. And that can go there. All right, so there's the two postcards in there. That looks pretty. I like it. So then we just need to decorate a little bit on the pages. And then flip that open. We're going to make something to go here and a little thing to go right here. And then the back. I'm not sure if we'll do anything on the back, maybe, but for now, I think that's good. All right, friends, I hope you like those little ideas, and then, like I said, I'll see you in the next video, so take care, all right? Bye.